stupid thing! Pay for this! I'll kill you!
Oh, Christ! Watch it! It's a killer!
Die, vermin! Oh, shit! Die, leech! Put an end to you! Fuck!
So Prewen never left Doris's theatre after they invaded. They must be holding Edgar here in their new headquarters.
It's a leech! Kill it! See them bouncing close? This one's a top! The leech is full!
This is despicable.
It smells like rotten meat. One's near. I know it.
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Not a safe place right now, sir.
I am here to stay.
The beast must die! Bloody monster! Stay back, beast! The power of the Lord commands you! Go on, back to the shadows!
I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Remember your vows, friend.
It's locked, all right. I cannot enter. Doris Fletcher was about to become a disaster. I'm getting close to having all the evidence. It's locked.
Turn around, sir.
Die!
All of you bloody leeches need killing. I hate leeches.
Blood of a pure heart, garlic, blood of a king. I don't understand. Perhaps this is what McCullum drank. I had better keep that in mind. I should find the key to that box. It's locked, all right. It's locked, all right. It's locked. It's locked.
Edgar. Edgar, can you hear me?
Jonathan, is it really you?
Easy. Easy. Save your strength. I'm getting you out of here.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late. Punctured lung, broken ribs, and internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Geoffrey McCullum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the Skal epidemic.
I never imagined that self-righteous fanatic would dare to attack us in the open. What became of him?
I put him in a somewhat delicate position when I made him an immortal.
Really? You sure that was the wisest course of action?
Time will tell. The most intriguing part of his accusation was that you and I were the pawns of some ancient vampire.
William Marshall. Yes, they tortured me to make me confess the same nonsense.
I trust you, Edgar, but the Guard of Priwen is onto something.
What do you mean?
William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
Jonathan, I cannot say I'm ready for another round of questions.
Why would the Guard of Priwen believe you and I created the vampire epidemic?
Maybe due to our profession? Because I offered you shelter in my hospital.
What can you tell me about William Marshall?
Not much. History paints the story he was the greatest knight who ever lived. Amongst the immortals, he had a yet greater legend.
Why is the Guard of Priwen so obsessed with him?
He was the only ancient vampire to escape the first great hunt launched by the Guard of Priwen in 1854. They believe he's an evil creature plotting his return.
Why would he deserve such a reputation?
I cannot say. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole has next to no intelligence on him. All I know is that he's supposed to be the oldest of all the British vampires.
While investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan. Nothing at all.
Do you know Doris Fletcher's real name?
No, I'm afraid not.
Her real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of Harriet Jones.
What do you want me to say, Jonathan?
Do you remember when we suspected Sean Hampton of killing Harriet Jones?
Yes. The terrible episode that came as a shock to us all.
Harriet Jones faked her own death. When I found her in the sewers, she confessed she wanted everybody to pay for what happened to her.
That woman was extremely bitter, full of hatred and festering anger.
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms: blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
Do you know where we are? Doris Fletcher's theatre. This is where that hateful creature plotted to spread the epidemic across London.
I only briefly met Miss Fletcher once when she visited the Pembroke Hospital. You say it was to see her mother. She seemed like such a sweet and graceful woman.
My point exactly. The disease turned her into a bitter soul, driven by vengeance just like her mother.
a symptom of all the infected patients.
Certain diseases are known to produce similar effects. Rabies, for example. And rabies is not the devil at work.
Come on, Edgar. Don't you see the pattern here? The epidemic, the link between Doris and Harriet, the suspicion of McCullum.
How could I? I never saw Harriet Jones again after she fled the hospital.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
I swear I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet. There was no evil plan, no diabolical plot.
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on Harriet Jones. My only intention was to find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's. While transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my research.
You used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
Right, I admit it. I boldly ventured into experimental realms, but I've killed no one to appease my thirst for knowledge, Jonathan. I'm no murderer.
I never asked to become what I am, Edgar. You chose to conduct your rogue experiments.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul. Just another victim of this tragedy.
Yes, your death is imminent, Dr. Swansea. But I swear it will be quick.
I already told you to call me Edgar. Am I no longer your friend?
I believe you never have been, sir. You have lied to me at every step and betrayed the trust of a woman I cherish.
You and the lady? Really? Well, I should have seen it coming, I suppose. May I add that I welcome this? The biting, I mean.
You have your wish.
Is it going to hurt? I always wondered if it would...
It's locked. can't believe I'm doing this.
Reid! I'll tell you, the power of the Lord commands you. No, steady boys! We've got one of them! Die, vermin! I shall fear no evil! Shall prevail! You'll pay for this, you ugly fucker! I'll put an end to you!
I have it. I can now open the box. This is despicable. I really don't know if I should read this. I can't believe it. I have this thirst for blood. return later. So Harriet Jones became the original carrier when Edgar gave her vampire blood. I must tell Elizabeth.
It's a leech! Kill it!
Steady, boys! One of them. God walks with thee! Your prey is mine now!
Hello again, Dr. Reid.
Have you any recent news of Aloysius Dawson?
I try not to listen to gossip or rumors. Unlike my brother, I am only interested in facts.
Goodbye. Good evening. Have you any recent news of Aloysius Dawson?
I've heard he's dead. I hope he found his twin brother, wherever they are now.
You knew Aloysius's twin brother?
Yes. I think we were even together in the Gemini Club for a time. A somewhat secret society that only accepts twins as members.
Goodbye, Mr.
Dr. Reid.
Is it true you were dropped in rank? Tell me about it.
Yes, it is. I made a terrible mistake. I deserved it. Sometimes I think I should have resigned.
So why are you still working here?
Because I'm a damn fine copper. I just don't want to have someone innocent hung again by mistake because of me.
The death penalty can sometimes be appropriate.
Those are strange, cold words coming from a doctor who claimed to take every risk to save lives on these dangerous streets.
Have you recent news of Aloysius Dawson?
Come on. The most ruthless tycoon of England dies and gives his fortune to the poor. The man has been tricked. I suspect torture and murder here.
What are you investigating, exactly?
Well, my 2 missing persons cases have been solved. By you, it seems. Are you just that lucky? Or do you know something I don't?
I was lucky enough to find them both while conducting my investigation in this part of town.
Why do I still have the feeling that you're hiding something? What about the abductor? Was it the same person?
I don't think so. You had better interview Miss Teasdale and Mr. Kimura on that matter. All I did was to lead them safely home. Goodbye, Detective.
Goodbye, Doc.
I cannot enter.
If you're not too tired, could you help your mum? Auntie's sweetest daughter ever. Carol, give your mum. Be careful, Carol. You're wasting good food here.
Yes, Mother.
I said be careful, child. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Mummy has been so clumsy again.
No, that's okay. It won't bleed for long.
You're so pale. Are you feeling sick? Do you need to see a doctor?
No, I'm fine. I already saw the doctor last week.
Don't be silly. You must see a doctor. I hope you can stay.
Good evening, Miss Price.
You know...
Tell me, Carolyn, do you often wound or hurt your daughter by mistake?
No. I always thought it was Carol's clumsiness that caused these incidents. Maybe it's a family trait, Doctor.
You really believe it's just bad luck and being clumsy, then?
Of course, Doctor. What else could it be? I have nothing to hide.
You are responsible for your daughter's many injuries and scars, Carolyn. You brutalize her, don't you?
How could I abuse my own flesh and blood? This is nonsense. It would be like hurting myself.
You really believe you've done nothing wrong, don't you? How long has this been going on for? I should have seen it when you were my patient.
Seen what? Child abuse? Are you mad, Dr. Reid? I dedicated my whole life to my precious Carol. She is a part of me.
Yes. Even her name is just... This is a terrible tragedy. Something of an unknown disorder. My God. Abuse that comes from overwhelming love.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. How dare you say something like that? What kind of a monster do you think I am?
Speak to me, Carolyn. Why do you behave like this? How does it make you feel to hurt Carol before cajoling her?
I don't know. It makes me feel good to take care of my daughter. I need to feel useful. No one ever takes care of me. I need someone to take care of me.
Do you realize Carol is a person? Not a toy. Not a doll. The poor girl would put her hand in a flame to please you. You are both trapped in this toxic relationship.
Carol and I are perfectly happy. Leave us be. How stupid I was to believe you could be a suitable husband.
If no one stops you, you will kill her. You'll keep on torturing her out of smothering love until she breaks or you hurt her too much.
How dare you? I carried Carol inside of me for 9 months. You men can't understand the bond between a mother and her child. I could kill for her.
What is your opinion of Aloysius Dawson?
Rumor is he gave most of his fortune to charities to help the poor and sick. He was a good man after all.
May I look at your...
It's always a pleasure to... I hope you can stay a little longer this time.
It's locked, all right. It's locked, all right.
Good evening, Jonathan Reid. Primate of St. Paul's Stole. It comes with certain advantages, like accessing the greatest library in the country and avoiding answering certain questions.
So, are you or are you not a vampire?
As a brilliant man once said, to be unambiguous could only be to one's own detriment.
Have you any news concerning Aloysius Dawson?
You unburdened his heart and cleared his mind. A most elegant solution, I must say, Jonathan.
I found your notebook. The one the guard of Prewan stole from you.
And you've brought it back to me. That's excellent news, Jonathan. Were you able to keep yourself from reading it?
No.
Ah, the oldest temptation of all. If Pandora herself did not pass the test, I suppose I should not blame you for your curiosity.
So you're not angry with me?
Why should I be? To live is to make choices, Jonathan. And you made yours. Now give it to me, please.
Goodbye, sir. Until we meet again.
I rarely want the Red River, the song in the dark, the whispers of a sun. So many signs to interpret.
pay the price.
Problems. As long as you have the money.
This is despicable.
best. Leech spotted! Watch out!
Go. This one's mine!
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
I'll kill you! You leeches didn't kill him! I'll send you to hell!
We've got one of them here!
Back in the drawer!
It's locked.
What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan? What is it, my dear?
I'm afraid it's bad news, Elizabeth. The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
He was mortally wounded. I put an end to his misery.
That is terrible, Jonathan. And yet you did what you must. The poor man.
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skull epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
Edgar gave no heed to ethics. His theory could have been proven to be correct, but he abused the confidence of his patients to test it.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient. Let me guess. It was Harriet Jones, was it not?
Yes. That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected, and how she became an Icor. She secretly visited her mother at Pembroke.
Then we have no choice. We must act quickly, Jonathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Jonathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
What? No. No. This can't be. Oh.
Elizabeth, are you all right?
No, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your enemy.
Wait! No! Elizabeth! Now would be a good time to blend the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster. I think I know where to find what I need.
Best turn around if I were you.
Whose blood could be purer than that of William Marshall? Lord Redgrave will have to spare me a drop.
It could be someone you know.
Women of all countries unite!
Sir, you are not welcome.
Support the equality between men and women!
It's always been your house, Dad.
I can't continue like this.
I'm still persona non grata in the Ascalon Club. If I want to speak with Lord Redgrave, I'll have to improvise.
You're mine! Ah!
Good evening, Lord Redgrave.
What are you doing here, traitor? I shall smite you for this audacity.
I'm not here to bicker, Lord Redgrave. I can put an end to this epidemic, but I need your assistance to do so.
Good. We've held out thus far, but the time has come to put an end to this crisis. Tell me, what do you need?
The blood of William Marshall.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker? Are you mad? This blood is the purest of all. My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand it to you.
This is more important than the club, you, or me. This is London's last hope.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my lord.
If you manage to save this city, you'll prove yourself a veritable servant of the crown. So Godspeed, Dr. Reid. Our fate lies wholly in your hands. You again? What do you want?
I have a few questions to ask.
You hold in that vial the most sacred blood of all. I can help you no more. We all count on you, Dr. Reid, for tragedy is imminent.
Women's right to vote is only the first step.
It's an leech! Kill it!
When science failed. This elixir will give you faith again. Its effectiveness has been proven by many.
You Londoners are no match for me! Ah! Ah! It's a leech! Kill it! You London vampires!
Boys, we can deal with this vermin.
Get him weapons ready! We found one!
He's dead!
Good evening, Vampire Hunter.
Are you here to mock me, Reid?
Not at all, McCullum. I am here because I need you.
Really? I'm intrigued. Speak up, then.
I need the blood of a king. The blood of Arthur. I'm certain you possess it, and I must have it.
The Guard's most sacred and precious relic. Why would you... You found Marshall's memoirs. I should have destroyed that book.
I need the antidote to save this city, McCullum.
It is within me to take your words as truth. I want to, but I must know more. What precisely are your plans?
I have found the carrier, McCullum. The infection's source. It may be science or some supernatural power that's responsible for all this. But I will harness either or both to end the epidemic.
A vampire doctor. My God, you're a terrifying creature. Jonathan Emmett Reid.
Do you not understand? We wanted the same thing from the outset. A means to end this vampire epidemic.
Not enemies. Maybe that is so. Take it then. I see no other hope for this city. If this is some trick, you will be damned, Dr. Reid.
Thank you. Can we speak more?
Indeed. Why not?
Why are you here?
The man who raised me after the brutal murder of my parents. He's buried here.
Were both your parents killed by vampires?
Yes. And yet worse. My father returned to Dublin a vampire and tore out my mother's throat.
And who was this man?
Carl Eldritch. One-time leader of Prewin. Killed my father in front of me. Helped me hunt my brother Ain after teaching me how to kill leeches.
How are you adapting to immortality?
I feel so powerful it gives me shivers. I could be the greatest vampire hunter ever. Your worst nightmare, in truth.
Will you leave the Guard now that you are what you are?
Are we not creatures of deceit? I could hide my nature from my men, or name a successor. Go my own way. I know not yet my path.
Will you hunt me down?
Not for now. But you had better behave, Doctor, or I may change my mind.
Farewell, my progeny.
Do not stretch your luck, Reid.
Burn it, boys! Die, vermin! Lord, give us strength! Easy does it, boys! We can deal with this, man. It's a killer! It's down! Finish it!
Spare me, Dark Queen. Spare your obedience,
At least that the mistress of the dark stopped rolling.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help. I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir.
It's locked, all right.
You must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
You don't mind if I search your pockets, do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you. You see, no one has claimed your body, sir, so it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir. And I thank you for your generous donation. Good evening, Dr. Reid. Such a pleasure to see you again. How dare you steal from the dead, Rakesh? Is that what your pawnbrokers is really about? These people are dead, sir. What they possessed could be useful for the living. And I'm sure they would agree if they could speak. You may be right, but you'll go to jail if you're caught. If ever I have to go to jail, I'm sure I'll find a way to help people there, too. Goodbye, Mr. Chidana. I cannot enter. It never ceases to amaze me how you, the dead, it's locked, all right. Peaceful and lost at the same.
I cannot use garlic, but there may be a substitute in the Pembroke Hospital drug storage.
There's one up. Watch yourselves. Get back in the grave! Away with you! I'll put it into you! I'll send you back in the fucking grave! Remember your... Hold back! I shall...
There it is. Insulin. Much more efficient than garlic against blood poisoning and sepsis, and much less dangerous for me. Thank you, Dr. Polescu. blend seems stable. Time to go and find Harriet in the sewers.